A terrifying new era is tonight unfolding in the Middle East.
Palestinian militants fired thousands of rockets into Israel overnight,
and dozens of militants appear to have entered southern Israel.
The idea that Palestinian gunmen are inside of Israeli communities is what has taken this country so by surprise.
אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו במלחמה, לא במבצע, לא בסבבים, במלחמה.
The United States stands with the people of Israel in the face of these terrorist assaults. Israel has the right to defend itself and its people. Full stop.
The Pentagon now sending an aircraft carrier strike group to the region, part of President Biden's promise of rock-solid and unwavering support.
אנחנו מטילים מצור מוחלט על העיר עזה. אין חשמל, אין מזון, אין מים, אין דלק. הכל סגור. אנחנו נלחמים בחיות אדם ואנחנו נוהגים בהתאם.
We have a new audio statement from the spokesman for the so-called military wing of Hamas. He says Hamas will begin executing an Israeli civilian captive in return for any new Israeli bombing of civilian houses inside Gaza without pre-warning.
A warning message arriving from the sky.
The Israeli Defense Force warned they had 24 hours to relocate if they wanted to live.
For Palestinians, getting out of Gaza is nearly impossible. They simply have nowhere to go.
They had been guaranteed 6 hours of safe passage. Killed when strikes hit their convoy, toddlers amongst the dozens of victims.
Watch the ambulance driver just back from the scene, distraught at what he's witnessed.
The Rafah crossing, the only exit not controlled by Israel, remains shut as Egypt refuses to allow foreigners out until Israel agrees to let vital aid in.
The US has sent a second carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean. The show of force is meant to deter regional actors, namely Iran and Lebanon's Hezbollah, from widening the war.
There are new concerns that the conflict could extend beyond Israel's border, including its northern border with Lebanon, and those concerns are growing by the minute.
There was an airstrike tonight near the Rafah crossing. That's where thousands of people are currently waiting, trying to escape from Gaza into Egypt.
President Biden will travel to Israel on Wednesday.
He will be making his way to Israel for meetings with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and visiting a country that is essentially at war.
Palestinian officials say an Israeli airstrike hit a hospital in Gaza a short time ago, with fears that hundreds are dead.
These images that are coming out of Gaza City are absolutely harrowing.
Initially, Hamas was saying between 200 and 300 people had died. Those numbers rising significantly now.
Who is responsible for the attack?
Both Israel and Hamas are now blaming each other.
This was a failed launch by the Islamic Jihad. That is the information that I have. I stand by it. It has been approved by the highest levels in the IDF, and that is the information that we stand by.
In direct response, we have seen hundreds of protesters take to the streets in Ramallah on the West Bank, throwing rocks and calling for Netanyahu to resign, accusing him of inaction on the crisis.
Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas called the attack a massacre and genocide. He will not be meeting with the US President Joe Biden when he visits the region.
This was supposed to be a hugely significant trip. First, it was Mahmoud Abbas who pulled out. Then Jordan's foreign minister announced the whole deal was off.